road again. We can't wait to get on the road again. Telling stories to our family and our friends. We can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. We can't wait to get on the road again. Telling stories to our friends. We can't wait to get on the road
Welcome
again.
to our monthly AAA podcast, Affinity, Allie, and Annette on the road to good storytelling with your host, Allie Spooner and Annette Maury.
Annette and I are working on several different things that we can put together to get some audio codes to make sure that, folks know that they're out there and we're willing to share.
And this month, we're talking to our wonderful narrators. Not all were able to join us today, so there are some other really cool narrators that at some point in time, maybe we can have some conversations with, but we have 4 with us right now, and we're very excited about that. We are also going to ask them, instead of doing a reading, we're going to ask them to share a very short clip. And so we have 1-minute clips from each of our wonderful narrators, and we'll be introducing you to them. All right, so it's my absolute honor and pleasure to invite one of our very first narrators with Affinity, Heidi Binhammer. And Heidi Binhammer is a former college professor, a classically trained soprano, which we've used, voice teacher, and now audiobook narrator. During the worldwide lockdown, Heidi decided to take the chance and begin her newest career in narrating and producing audiobooks. With 59 completed audiobooks and several more in the works, she has narrated books ranging from lesbian fiction to horror, World War II fiction, and a Holocaust memoir.
So without further ado, you're on, Heidi. Take it away.
Hello. All right, this is a clip from The Next Generation by Annette, and I chose this clip because the worlds have met with the old guard and the new guard, and it's really fun to see the old guard and dealing with their kids wanting to do their same job. So I wanted to find like a shoot 'em up chase scene, but there's usually a lot of swearing in those, which is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah. I was on Facebook at one point in time, just a little offshoot here, and people were talking about overused words, and I said, I'm just going to go there. One of my overused words is probably so,
my favorite word to say.
Yeah,
it's a great
here we
word.
go. Here's the 1-minute clip on The Next Generation.
Val scanned the grounds, looking for anything that captured her entry onto the estate. I know it's a lot to ask, but I'll also need you to wipe anything that might already exist. Duh, I know that, Joy answered. Okay, you're clear. I jammed all the signals. By the time you finish, I'll have erased anything that might have captured your ninja routine, Aunt Val. Making her way quickly to the sprawling estate, she cupped her hands against various windows until she found 4 vehicles and an oversized garage. Pulling her lockpick kit from the bag slung around her shoulder, she was inside in under a minute. Val quickly swapped out the 2 plates she'd pulled from their rentals, then relocked the door. She wasn't overly thrilled with scaling the wall again, but didn't want to take the time to find the gate. Val had completed the entire operation in less than 10 minutes. Not bad for an old gal, she thought. The only snafu was the man who'd taken a shot. Eliminating both men would not solve her problem. Otherwise, she wouldn't have hesitated. The universe would simply have to provide for them as they'd always done before.
Great. I love that. I love that
Shar
clip.
and Tony.
Thanks for choosing that. And thanks for choosing The Next Generation. Anything else you want to add, Heidi, before we go on to Danielle?
I was just thinking about, I was just looking over the questions, that you had sent. And one of the stories that I was talking with another author on Facebook, because I'm friends with a lot of the authors on Facebook. One of the funny things we talked about was, she was texting, asking, how I feel about reading sex scenes. And I'm like, well, I'm glad I'm alone in my little room up in the middle of my house. And she was saying, as the author, as she writes them and she goes, and I sort of feel myself doing that as well. I'm like, anyone there? So that's the fun part of reading some of those scenes.
Oh,
And
that's so funny.
yeah, it's really funny.
Well, you'll be happy to know that the first book that I've ever done, a fade to black, that has absolutely no eyes wide open scenes is Love Hacks, the next one that you're going to be doing. So you don't have to do any sex scenes.
Oh.
All right.
All
Allie?
right. All right. Danielle grew up in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. I hope I got that right. Where she spent years immersed in theater, improv, and performing as a vocalist. Danielle has spent the last 5 years volunteering as a patient advocate and educator for people with complex chronic illnesses, and is surprised and delighted to now be acting and working again. She began narrating audiobooks after finding success in recording her poetry. As an avid listener of audiobooks and lover of performing, the transition into narration came naturally. When Danielle is not recording, you can find her in the kitchen playing the entire cast of Hamilton as she bakes. We expect cookies in the future, okay?
Fair.
Well, welcome.
Thank you for having me. So my clip is from a book called Strength Within by Mia Barnes, and it is the moment where our protagonist, Sammy, is meeting her first love. They're on the beach and teenagers, and it's a coming of age story in a lot of ways. So wanted to start out with her as a younger person before moving into her being older, which is why I chose this clip.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that is that I didn't recognize, I mean, I helped Mia with the book and I'm like, what book is this from? And it's because you chose when she was a younger person, I didn't remember it. And I'm like, what book is this? And Allie said, it's from Strength Within. And it's so funny because I had worked with Mia for like months on this book. So I should have known it in and out, and I didn't. So here we go. So
when I was almost at my favorite spot, the wind caught my cap and it went flying down the beach. I was about to take off running after it when I saw a dark-haired girl come out of nowhere and grab it. She came toward me, and I walked toward her. We got about 5 feet apart when our eyes locked, and I felt a flutter in my stomach. It was a weird feeling, one I hadn't felt before. I stood there paralyzed, unaware if I was still breathing, and she didn't look away. What was happening? I felt different things, like her eyes were talking to me, and then a rush of panic because I wasn't sure how to react. Finally, I looked away, breaking eye contact. I felt myself exhale. Then I pointed to my cap and said, "Thank you for saving that." "No problem," she said as she handed it to me. After an awkward moment of silence, I said, "My name is Sarah, by the way." I looked at her, and she was smiling.
nice.
Very good.
It was awesome. Anything you want to add to that, Danielle?
I don't think so. Are we going to be asking questions more later, or would you prefer us to?
No, we are. We'll be
Okay.
asking questions later. Definitely.
That has to provide you more protection, especially from rogue waves. Yes, there's that. And it's less far to swim or paddle if anything goes amiss, she answered with a serious face. I prefer the comfort of seeing land in bad weather. Lindsay gazed out to the south at the clear skies and brilliant sprinkle of stars. It's hard to believe that just a few 100 miles south, mayhem is on its way. It seems so peaceful out tonight. A comfortable silence had fallen between them. They relaxed against the bench, and Kendra's hand was resting on Lindsay's thigh. The warmth of their bodies pressed close together brought her a sense of contentment. Her eyes were growing heavy, and she felt Kendra stand and stretch. "I'm going to call it a night. Sleep well, my friend." "You too, Captain." Lindsay enjoyed the cool night for several more minutes before retiring to her berth for the night. The gentle swaying of the boat rocked her to sleep within minutes. I like
Yeah.
the feeling of that one.
Yeah,
Anything,
good job.
anything else you want to add, Susan?
I know we got a lot of questions coming, so yeah, we can chit chat after that. And yeah, I'm just thrilled to be here. So thank you very much.
Great.
All right.
I want to welcome Clark. Clark
Hello.
the Shark. I love that. So I'm glad you were able to join us. How's your puppy dog doing?
She's okay. She's still at the vet, but I can go get her in about an hour and she's gonna be okay.
Good, good, good.
Thank you for letting me hop on.
Very happy to hear that.
Yeah, great news. All right, Kelly Kilburg is an Air Force brat who grew up all over the world, crossing both the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans several times before she was 10. An artist in several mediums, nothing has arrested Kelly's attention quite like audio work. A lifelong storyteller, she discovered audio as a great way to give her stories depth and scope, creating soundscapes for friends and the occasional art patron. Narration has given her a fantastic way to grow her craft while also allowing her to pursue it as a career to support her creative endeavors.
Hi, thank you for having me.
And would you like to give us a little intro on your clip, Kelly?
Yes. So this is 23 Miles by Renee McKenzie. And this clip that I sent you is the two protagonists, Katie and Shay, kind of have a confrontation. And I love it because Katie is over her mind with a crush over Shay, and Shay is confronting Katie about some parts about her past.
Wonderful.
Talia had worked herself into a nervous knot by the time she made it to the bar that night. She was so upset she couldn't eat dinner before going out, and she knew she wouldn't be able to eat once she got there. Her nerves wouldn't let her. The woman at the door waved her through. Talia had been there enough over the last several months that she guessed she was officially considered a regular. Talia turned toward the dance floor when she heard Kate call out, "Elliot, wait." But Shay Elliott wasn't waiting. She was making a beeline right for her. Talia was scared and excited all at once. "Outside, now," Shay barked. Talia almost tripped trying to keep up with her. Damn, and no drink yet either. What the hell were you thinking? That wasn't what she was expecting to hear. Maybe, "Quit stalking me, loser," but not that. "What do you mean?" Talia asked, her voice quivering. "Do you have any idea how bad it's going to look for me when they look into your story? Seriously, what were you thinking?" "You have to retract your statement. You aren't even a credible witness, for crying out loud," Shay said. All Talia could think to utter was, "What?" "Come on. Kate told me about your problems with not telling the truth. She told me about your nickname, Liarhead Lisher." "Lizard. It's Liarhead Lizard." Her face was so hot she expected to break out into hives. "You're going to judge me based on some adolescent crap years ago? I'm sorry, but I don't believe you were sitting outside my house 2 nights in a row. And when the FBI proves that you lied, it's going to make me look bad. They're going to think I put you up to it. They're going to check out my story and you will be off the hook. They aren't going to give a shit if I told lies for attention when I was younger." "Stop it," Shay said through clenched teeth. "Stop the crap, and don't try to help anymore, okay?" Talia could feel her fists clenching and unclenching by her side. She knew she should say screw it and leave, but she couldn't stop herself. "So, Shay Elliott, did you know that it's your neighbor to the right letting her dog shit in your yard without cleaning it up? Huh? How about the neighbor on the other side of you? Did you know she entertains another neighbor after dark?" Shay looked confused and said nothing. "Am I a freak stalking you? Yes. Am I a liar? No, not in this case anyway. Not about where you were those nights. Oh, and you ordered a pizza from Cal's on Saturday night." So if it's all the same to you, I won't be retracting my statement to the FBI. And maybe one day, when you pull your head out of your ass, you'll thank me for coming forward.
That was
I'm so
great.
sorry. I got the names mixed up on the characters. It's Talia and Shay, and I can totally say the introduction.
Hey, no problem. See, that's the thing. We all are human, so we love that. Love that. Anything else you want to correct on that, Kelly?
The clip is between Talia and Shay having a confrontation. That's all.
Okay,
Thank you.
good deal. All right, so I am so happy that you were able to join us, Clark, so that we could have you answer questions as well. But I'm going to go ahead and introduce you, and then you can tell us a little bit about the clip that you chose. Clark Coder, I hope I pronounced that correctly, is a
Nicely
guitarist,
done.
bassist, and vocalist primarily in punk bands. All right. She's also a seasoned leather worker and single mother of 5 fur babies, a dachshund, and 4 cats. All right. Her love for audiobooks and desire to use her voice to bring stories to audio life led her to build a sound booth in her Somerville, Massachusetts apartment, which she affectionately calls her house. Thus began her journey into narration. While she is a relative newcomer to audiobook narration, she spends countless hours in her house honing her craft. Welcome.
Welcome. Clark, you're up next.
Now, am I playing the clip or are you folks playing the clip?
Now, Annette's going to play it if there's anything you want to introduce about Mother's Wish.
Yeah.
So this scene is it's kind of an enemies to lovers plot. With the rest of the book has kind of a thriller mystery suspense element to it, which is great. I really enjoyed the book. But this scene is kind of Lucy and Cameron are the 2 main characters, and they've just kind of met. And Lucy has been estranged from her mother for about 15 years and is back at her family's estate. But she's like, no one trusts each other really. So Lucy's kind of confronting Cameron and making some accusations.
Yes. All right. Here we go.
Lucy took a step back, but kept eye contact. I know you're after the inheritance. She bit her lip, instantly regretting her retort, backed away from Cameron and sat down in the chair across from her. You don't know me, and you have no right to accuse me of any such things. Cameron breathed hard. Lucy could see the anger taking over her usually charming, cold self. I bet my mother is paying you an astronomical salary for living here free of charge. You're just riding this one out right until the very end, aren't you? That was a rhetorical question. Cameron had no need to respond, yet she tried. What? I can see right through people like you, Lucy interjected. Taking advantage of the terminally ill like a hyena pouncing for the money hill. Oh, and don't worry, your secret is safe with me. I don't want anything from her. You can have it all. Lucy inspected her face as she spoke. On one condition. Her blue eyes were blazing hot, and she was breathing very hard, but she didn't say a word. So Lucy placed her condition on the table for her to ogle over. She loved the power she had over women, and this one was no different. Sleep with me. Fuck you.
See, Heidi, you could have actually, that was great. You could have actually picked a clip with some colorful
Multi-language.
shall we say. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I don't think we've ever said that we aren't going to swear on our podcast. So there you go. Anything else you want to add to that, Clark?
I don't think so. I thought the book was great. I had listened to your podcast with the author, and I noticed that you also kind of stayed up past your bedtime trying to get to the end of the story. I thought it was a great story.
It was a good story.
Yeah, she is very excited to hear you and see you and put a face to the name. So
Right.
I'm sure she's going to be harassing Annette to get that edit done quickly so she can hear and see.
Yeah, Allie and I talked about, should we have the authors and the narrators together? And we said, no, we just really wanted to chat with the narrators. So we didn't invite them, and I'm sure they're like, dang it.
Yeah. Maybe in the future we'll pair you guys up as we do.
Maybe in the future we'll do another one and pair the authors and the narrators together. But for right now,